In this video, we will learn how to perform a one-way between subjects ANOVA using SPSS. When we are using a one-way between subjects ANOVA, we're actually comparing at least 3 groups. They could be 4, 5, or more. I wouldn't go beyond 5 or 6 groups when comparing, and these groups would be considered the independent variable. And we will compare groups on a continuous variable. Let's begin. So in our data, we are going to be looking at class. We have 3 different groups for class. If I toggle back and forth, we can see that more easily as it's been coded with numbers. We have 1s, 2s, and 3s, which represents spring 2018, fall 2018, and spring 2019. And we'll look to compare these, comparing, let's say, shyness, to see if there is a difference in shyness between semesters. Select Analyze, Compare Means, One-Way ANOVA. And our factor is class, so slip that in there. And our dependent list has to be a continuous variable, and you can tell by these little rulers that these are continuous variables. In SPSS, it calls them scale data. These little bubbles represent categorical data, which is needed for the independent variable in an ANOVA. So we are interested in the shyness scale, so we'll put it in the box. And one nifty thing about SPSS, it allows you to really analyze more than one if you wish. So just for curiosity's sake, we can look to see if there's a difference in age groups between the semesters, and even what their thoughts are on whether or not they'll have divorce in the future. So select post hoc tests, and these are like these are like performing smaller t-tests, which compares all of the groups just one by one to each other. And we'll select Tukey, which is a common test we use. Select options, descriptives, and homogeneity of variance. Continue. And then select OK. Okay, so it ran tests for all 3 different things. And if you look up here, you can see that it is testing by class. And it's testing these 3 variables: shyness, age, and self-divorce. It gives the number of people in each class that answered for these 3 different categories, the means, standard deviations, and so on. And if we scroll down, we want to look to see if tests of homogeneity are significant. And in this box, if this sig is 0.05 or less, it would indicate that it was significant. But in this case, we don't want these to be significant. And here, none of them show to be significant, which is a good thing. That means our groups are homogeneous. Now, here are the tests that we are really interested in, and we look to see if any of these are significant. This is where we want to see significance. And as you can see, none of them fell below 0.05 or less. If any one of these groups fell below 0.05 or less, we would proceed to look down at our post hoc tests, which compares each category to each other. So this, for example, in the shyness total score area, is comparing spring with fall, and spring 2018 and spring 2019. And when you look across, you would look for significance for these variables. And as you can see just from the top here, none of them fall below 0.05 or less. However, this one came very close if you're comparing spring 2018 and spring 2019.